Hi, I'm Jack, and today I'm going to tell you about how to get into house flipping. So the typical house flipping structure is the first step is you wholesale, and I'll tell you about that in a minute, and the second step is you flip, and the third step is you buy and hold. And maybe the fourth step, if you get that far along, is to buy something like in a hotels or apartments or things like that, or commercial businesses. So the first step, you can get started in real estate with no money at all, because all you have to do is drive around, look for homes that might look like that they need to sell. Maybe they looked abandoned. There's lots of newspapers piled up. There's not that people really get newspapers that much anymore, but the grass might be very long. The house might be boarded up. Try to find the homeowner. You can use the appraisal district information, use county records, and once you find the homeowner's information, you contact them. You say, hey, would you be interested in a cash offer for your home? Now, maybe you don't have any cash. It's okay to make a cash offer without any cash. What you do is you write up the contract, and as long as it's a good price, you want to put in the buyer's line. One thing you could put, check with your attorney on this, is your name and or assigns, so that you can assign it to somebody else. So say you find a $200,000 property and you make an offer for $100,000 for the homeowner and they accept. Now you can take that $100,000 contract and ship it and show it to other investors who might be interested in the property at $120,000. $200,000 property for $120,000 that needs some work, that might be a good option for them. Then when you come down to the closing table, they'll give you the $20,000 check, so it's still going to be a little while until you get paid. Now the reason most people start here instead of at that second stage, which is actually buying the home to flip it and making an even bigger profit potentially, is because they usually start out with no money to their name. In order to buy a house, you need to have cash, or you need to have at least enough money to help with a loan. And so you're going to start usually wholesaling. Now if you have your own cash, you can start by flipping. That's totally fine. So when you flip a property, you're basically buying it for less than it's worth, putting in some money, and then reselling it for a profit. So that's easy enough to do. And then the last thing you're going to want to do after all that is you're going to want to buy and hold. That's how you create that long-term wealth. So if you have a property, say it's worth $200,000, say this time you buy it for $150,000, you put $20,000 worth of work into it, now you have quote unquote $30,000 of profit. But after you put it on the market to list it, if it sits for a few months and you have to pay real estate fees, you might be breaking even or making no money at all. So in those situations, you want to buy and hold. So if you get a long-term note on this property, let's say the note is for $1,100, but you can rent it out for $1,500, then you're making $400 a month profit. And so if you do that with enough properties, eventually they'll all start gaining in value. And once you have 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe 100 properties, you can put them all into a couple loans, maybe work with a local bank and have a portfolio loan, as it's called, and then cash out. I'm Jack, and if you have any more questions or news on real estate, just leave it in the comments. Thanks.